There are so many students who travel to Ukraine to study, and because of the war, they graduated online. And I'm telling you, because they did that 2 years online before they graduated, they are not able to start practicing medicine.
I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my head. I'm sick of wishing I could just forgive and forget. I'm sick of all these thoughts that are stuck in my mind, my mind, my mind.
Welcome back again to my channel. If this is the first time that you're joining, welcome to the family. Please do well to like this video, subscribe to my channel, okay? It will really help my channel. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be talking about how you can apply for admission, okay? It's any university of your choice actually, because why not? Okay, why not talk about it? If you are thinking of applying to any university abroad, this is that one video that you want to watch, because it's going to be very detailed. I'm going to be explaining like some of the things that I feel like a lot of people do not take into consideration when they're doing the application. So I hope it's a video that would really help you, really guide you. The number one thing that you want to think about is your discipline, okay? So you want to think about the course that you're going to choose. I'm talking about if you're thinking of doing electrical electronics like MOA, or you're thinking of doing like any medical field, just the course that you like. You want to think about that, because there are some courses that you cannot do in some country, right? So you want to think about the course that you can do in some countries, okay? So you have to think about where would you like to study. So after you have selected like the field that you will be doing, you want to think about where you would want to study. Some of you guys that, okay, now you're thinking of doing something like mining now. Countries like Australia, Canada, those are countries that I feel like you would really want to focus on when it comes to like what you would want to study. And then countries like maybe UK, I feel like for UK, when it comes to AI, machine learning, all these electrical things, they are really good in that area, in that field. Then when you're talking about China, I know China have a lot of courses, especially when it comes to engineering. So now you have to think of the course that you want to do, and I have to now be thinking of where would I want to do this course. You have to think of the university, okay? So the university that you'd want to actually do those courses is something that you have to think about. A lot of people like to go for the top universities when they want to choose the university that is good for them. Some people, what they will just do is that they will just go on Google, just type my course and universities that are doing my course in this country. Some people don't even like stress. Like when they're looking for the course, they just go and say electrical engineering in UK or electrical engineering in China. You know, they don't really want to do that stressful, go through that stressful part. So what they do is they just go on Google and check for the course, the country. And yeah, that's something you can also do. Also, you want to think about the ranking of the university. There was this story I heard of this guy who actually studied in China, right? And because he did his major in one of the top universities, it was so easy for him to just apply to the UK. Like when he wanted to go to the UK, he did not even need to like have any purpose like going to the UK, just because he did his major in one of the top universities in China. It was so easy for him to get admission to go and do his this thing in that school, which was so amazing and so cool. So that's another reason why I feel like people should not just focus on universities that have like high acceptance rates. You know, a lot of times people want to just major on those universities that they feel like, oh, there's high acceptance rate in this university and everything. But that's not what you want to focus on all the time. No, that's not what you want to focus on all the time. As much as, yes, going for universities with high acceptance rate is really cool, you don't want to be all focused on high acceptance rates. So that's I advise people that go for good universities, because you don't even know how it's going to help you when it comes to like looking for a job. Let's say now it's time for you to look for a job, or you're trying to look for visa opportunities, you want to apply for visa because you went to one of the top university. I'm telling you, it's going to be so easy to actually get admission to that university or to that school that you're applying to. So the next thing that you want to actually think about is the research. The research is the most affordable degrees. So when you're looking for a university now, right, you don't want to forget about the fact that you have to look at your pockets, because there are some schools that you feel like maybe now I'm going to do in this school, but the money that they are asking, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. So if you have the money, fine. But there are still some schools that you don't need to pay so much. You don't need to pay so much going to that school, and you still get what you want. So you have to now do your research and look for schools that are very, very affordable. I remember like when I was trying to apply to Canada, and then I was just checking for their universities, and I'm telling you, so university are just seeing around 15,000 and Canadian dollars, 17,000. Most of the universities in Canada are like this, from 15,000 to around more than, right? Even some schools in the UK, you're talking about 12,000, you're talking about 15,000, 17,000, and it's a lot of money. So even when you're even thinking of, okay, maybe now I can actually go to the university, work, and pay my tuition fee, you also want to think about deposit. Like some schools now, they'll say, oh, you have to deposit around $5,000, and $5,000 might be a lot of money, right? To some people, why they have some university that they'll say you don't need to deposit any money, you can just come and start while you're registering. You can actually start. But there are some schools that you are going to resume around September. They will tell you that deadline for depositing your money is around June, July. So imagine that kind of school now when they are telling you deadline is around June, July. Where you want to get money? Where do you want to get that cash? Especially when you don't have the money. So you want to think about how much they're telling you to even deposit. You want to think about how much they're telling you to put in to that university. Make you no go kill yourself. Another thing you can even think about is scholarship opportunities. Yes, there are some universities that offer good scholarship opportunities. That means you do not have to cut your head. Eh, you do not have to cut your head just because you want to go to school. If you feel like you don't have the money to pay the fees, and you feel like the price or the money they are charging you it's a lot, you can actually find universities that and check their scholarship opportunities. If you want to check for the opportunity scholarship opportunities that they have, you can actually check the international site, or when you go to the university website, you just see scholarship there, or funding and tuition. Sometimes that's what they used to put on their website. You go and you check it to see the scholarship opportunities. There's also scholarships that the government of that country used to give. So if maybe now you go to the university, you don't see scholarship opportunities in the university, you can as well go for the government scholarship. And it depends on your field, shall it depends on your field. For those of you that are going to be doing your masters or PhD, it's easy to get a scholarship because most of those research kind of this thing, they always like want to give you money, right, for the research. So if you are going for masters, you're going for PhD and all those things, you can easily get scholarship because research, there always used to be funding opportunity for research. And also another thing you can do is to actually find out from other people. Do not just be telling yourself that, oh, okay, I can do this on my own, let me just go ahead, do the application. No, try to go online. You can check on YouTube, on Instagram, do your research and find out how others like the experience that others have gotten while they are studying abroad in that particular school. So because you don't want to go and maybe start studying in that school and the things that you're expecting, maybe you're not able to get it, or the things that you were hoping that you get maybe from the field or the course that you're doing, you're not going to get it. Especially, okay, let's say for example now, personally for me, I wish that one of the things that I did was to go and do more research before I started studying. Studying my major in Chinese would have been so difficult. I remember when I started like doing my own study, I did not even do much research. But imagine I did a lot of research in my field. I feel like that really, really helped me. I would have been so prepared about how my major is. I would have even realized that my major is very, very hard. Though I did my major in my school, right? I did my major in Landmark University, but it was really, really hard. But you know, having to do it in Chinese is another different thing. So I wish that I did a lot more research on Instagram, on Google. I wish that I asked a lot more questions before I started studying. It would have really helped me, even though I was still going to go ahead to do the study, but at least I would have been prepared. I would have known that okay, this is how this is. Literally I know what I'm putting myself in. But then when you don't do like your research like this, could you just go now and what you see you may not like it. You may not like it. I know. I know what I'm saying. So on Instagram, it's like the best place you can actually like do your research. One of the things that you can do, you can go on that search. There's this search thing there. You can go there. You can search, and then you can be able to type your university. It was so easy for me to see a lot of people who have graduated from my school, a lot of people who are still in my school, and I could see them just by typing University of Science and Technology. I started messaging them, like just trying to have like an interaction with them. That way you can even be able to make friends before you even come to this school. Someone even did that to me. He's a Ghanaian. He went on that platform, University of Science and Technology. I know that's what he did. And then he was able to message me, and he was chatting with me about the school, because when he came newly, he didn't even know that he had country mates. He did not even know so much about the school. So, but when he was chatting me about that, who is a new student in the school, he's a Ghanaian, I was able to tell him, oh yeah, I know some Ghanaians. I told him a lot of people that I know. I told him a lot of information that I know. So you see, that's something that you can actually do. You can actually do your research. Try to make friends even before you come to the school, because sometimes even coming to the school can be like frustrating, right? So you can ask questions. Even international office, another place that is going to be really, really helpful. The international office, they can really, really guide you. They can tell you what to do. So ask them questions, and from their email address, you can be able to message them, ask them any question that you want to ask them. Call them even if you have to. And then when you get admission into the university, right, make sure you ask a lot of questions. Some school, they will even require that you need to get a supervisor. So now if you don't ask questions about like, oh, supervisor, research, all these things, you may not be able to know. You just come here and you will not be able to know. So try to like ask a lot of questions to really, really guide you. It will really help you. And the online platform is actually a place that I feel like you should also try to get a lot of information before you even resume. Let's say you get the admission, no. Let's say you get the admission. Make sure that you do your due diligence, research about that country, the advantages, disadvantages, so that you will be prepared. Talking about some countries whereby you have to speak language, right? Like China now, they don't speak English. I'm literally telling you, they don't speak English. This is a Chinese country. I didn't know this. In my mind, I'm like, maybe it's just it's school, like inside the school, they should speak English inside the school, right? But honestly, that was not how it is. Like my school, inside the school, they speak Chinese. In short, I feel like the teachers, the people, they purposely speak Chinese, and it's their own way to like teach the students Chinese. Those workers who are even working inside the school, they will be speaking Chinese to us like this. They'll be speaking Chinese to us. I'm like, is this not supposed to be international office? Even international office, like literally, will be speaking Chinese to us. So now, imagine that I had done my research. I would come here. I would not be shocked if I had seen anybody speaking Chinese to me. I would have said, okay, yes, this is how it is. I would have prepared my mind. But because I had not done my research, when I came here, they're speaking Chinese to me. Now, so I can't, can't they look. That is how I was looking, moping, because I'm like, what's going on here? Like, how am I supposed to understand this language? And then you be thinking that you're one bad guy. That when you start learning the language in 1 year, boom, you're good. My dear, not be everybody can learn language. It's not everybody that is a language person. Just that's how you should do your research. If you know that this is the language they used to speak in that country, prepare yourself. If it's possible for you to learn the language, because if you don't know how to speak their language, you will enter that country, you will just be moping. You will not know how to interact with anybody. I'm telling you guys from experience. So do your research, know the language. The reason I am really, really talking about the language is because I know what I'm going through here. Like, sometimes you never want to go out because you don't know how to communicate. There's one of my friend who actually got admission into the US, right? And then you're just complaining about how in the US you have to like buy your own car. I'm like, why you buy your car? Like, it was weird for me just hearing her telling me that she got a car. I know that it's a good thing to get a car. But I'm like, a student, what do you need car for? She said, like the in USA, like you really need your car. But for me, I like, in China, you don't need your car. Like literally, you don't need a car in China. In Beijing, that I'm staying, you don't really need a car because the transportation is just amazing. Like, the transportation is so cheap, affordable, and an amazing this is very, very just convenient living in China, to be honest. Even though yes, there's a language barrier in China, but it's so convenient living in China, right? I know that of recently we went through this whole pandemic situation where there was a lot of lockdown, we're not going out. A lot of people got really discouraged staying in China during that period. Yeah, I know a lot of people that even left China because of that COVID. So now prepare yourself about the place, and always know that when you travel from your country to another country, anything can happen. Talking about those people who went to Ukraine, like, I remember watching a movie yesterday night and it was just about war, and it made me understand and even like just feel what the people that are in Ukraine are going through. There are so many students who travel to Ukraine to study, and because of the war, they graduated online. And I'm telling you, because they did that 2 years online before they graduated, they are not able to start practicing medicine. I know my sister telling me of some people that are not going to be able to practice medicine because they did it online. There are some courses you cannot do online, right? So now, this ongoing thing with Ukraine and Russia is something that have been going on for some time. It's just like me now. So I'll prepare myself that China is a country that anything can happen. Anything can happen. Prepare your heart, because you're going to another man's country. In your own country too, things happening, war happening here and there. So why you there thinking that another man's land that you're going to nothing will happen? That's why I'm just like, prepare your mind, do your research. It's very important. Take your time when you are picking the course, and even when you are filling the information. Like, literally, when you're giving them your information, telling them about you want to also take your time when you're feeling, because you don't want to go and feel anything that it's not right, because you can start your major after 2 years. Now they will go and do their own research, because I remember when I started my major, and I think after like 3 years or 2 years, they started calling me, oh, you schooled in Lama University. They were like doing their research about my university, right? And you remember, I'm like, why are these people researching me? Because they wanted to be sure that all the information I had provided for them was actually correct, that I was not lying, that everything I had given to them was the truth. So that's why they were doing their research. So you see, your school will do their research, you not come and do research. Why won't you do your own research? Do your own research so that nobody would what? Nobody will call you a thief or a liar. So now let me go through what I said so that you guys can like remember. I said number one, select your desired discipline. That's talking about your field, your course, the things that you want to do. Make sure you select the right one. Number two, decide where you want to study. This talking about the place you want to study. You don't just want to just enter any country and say, yes, I just want to japa. No, that's not how you're gonna do it. You want to do your research about each country and know that, okay, this course I'm doing, it's a good course in this country. This course I'm doing is a good course in that country. So that's something that you want to do. So number three, you want to look at, you want to use the best search engine for international degrees. So you still want to do more research when it comes to like international degrees. Then number four, you want to check the ranking of the university. Okay, so whatever university that you have decided that, okay, this is university I want to choose, you want to also know the ranking of the university, the ranking of the university, the world ranking of the university, and also the ranking of the university in the country. Okay, because every school have their own ranking in their own country and have their own ranking when it comes to the world. It's very important. So when you're applying for a job or when you're applying for all those things, it will really help you. A lot of companies, they actually look at your university. My school now, I know that while I was doing my research for my university, it's really have when it comes to getting jobs, my school was actually, it's really good. And also there are some schools that will really help you when you want to apply for a job. They will even help you, assist you to get a job. That's another thing that you can actually think about. If you don't want to stress yourself when it comes to looking for a job, look for school that will help you get a job. The fifth one is to research the most affordable degrees. That's talking about your pocket. You don't want to just apply to any school just like that. Make sure you're applying to schools that you'll be like, okay. And then the final one is to find out how other people's experience while they were studying abroad. It's very important. Ask questions from the international office. Ask a lot of questions before you actually start. Okay, so I hope this video was really helpful. These are just tips and helpful tips that I feel like will help when it comes to picking your university abroad in 2023. If you have any other question, leave it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.